Alright guys, we're back for another Dokkan Battle video. It's time! Yes! So, Global is on the brink of getting what I believe is the best unit in Dokkan history. Now, of course, I mean, we don't need to get into it right now, but I do think he is the best unit in Dokkan history. LR Beast Gohan. I don't see how he's not just a clear must summon. I feel like you do need to get your hands on Beast Gohan. Again, I don't know that I'd really say he gaps the game anymore, because I do think LR Cell Max can do a lot of similar things as Beast Gohan. But just, again, Beast Gohan, he's just different. He's special. Y'all will get him, you'll pull him, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So, this is the teaser. It's a new stage of the Dokkan event, so the physical LR Ultimate Gohan is indeed, it's getting a new stage. That's the Beast Gohan Dokkan event, even though the physical LR Ultimate Gohan didn't really. I mean, you could get it was like a countdown super with Beast, right? But remember, at that time, there wasn't even a Beast Gohan sprite that existed. We also have new stages for the memorable battles coming. A stage against Gamma 1 and 2, which can be a little tricky. I mean, they could do some real damage for sure. And then that will also get you the exclusive orbs for the Gammas. Now, I believe of the 4 anniversary characters, for me personally, the Gamma's exclusive equips are the only ones I've used. Beasts are a good idea because it gives them a lot of defense. Same with Broly, probably. Gogeta, I would recommend you go full dodge for him. But the Gamma's equips can serve very well for them, right? So there's that. That's coming. Global Dokkan did, of course, tweet. I didn't miss that there was a global data download, of course. No, yeah. The data download hasn't happened yet. But they did also tweet, LR Beast Gohan, his details. We have the Krillin and Android 18. Oh, I should probably pull them up. They're the banner unit for Beast Gohan. And then, of course, we have the Carnival LR Gamma 1 and 2 as well. Now, I thought there was actually something pretty interesting that I should touch on here. So this is the voice actor for Gamma 2 right here, Zeno Robinson. This is actually interesting. I don't know if this is a new thing. I had not heard or known that they were doing clips for Dokkan. I don't know. I mean, it's possible that this could have been recorded, I guess, for like Sparking Zero or something, but I don't know. I mean, it seems like he implies they recorded this for Dokkan. One issue with the dub in Dokkan. Now, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm going to say this. I'm not hating on the dub. But it's a lot of the times it feels like they're cutting pieces of like different clips together and shit like that. So it's not that the dub voice acting is bad. It's that it's just odd because it seems all over the place, right? If they're like doing this, I mean, that is a really good sign. Again, I don't know if this line was, these were specifically recorded for Dokkan. Because, obviously, like Legends would have the unit. Again, these guys are going to be on Sparking Zero with this stuff, right? Like, there's going to be a lot of different things like that. But I thought that was actually pretty cool to see. So there's that. We can talk about the actual characters now. Just for a little bit before we finish up. By the way, I expect... they don't release banners on the weekend, but it would... it would technically, with the time zone that they use, fall on Friday night at like 11:30 PST or whatever, right? So, like, I think in my time zone, it's Gohan and the Gammas are gonna drop. What is it? It's gonna be like 2:30 a.m. on the 27th. They could also drop on Monday. I think it'll probably be the 26th, 27th, but I feel like it could be Monday as well. So we'll see. We'll see as we get a little bit closer. So Gohan, of course, he's in discussion for having best leader skill in the game. Just on the principle of superheroes being there. I do think that you could very easily say, like, Broly, or believe it or not, AGL Blue Vegito has a better leader skill, even though AGL Blue Vegito is a terrible character. So there's that. So Gohan is pretty nasty. He's going to get, your defense, your attack from his 12 key. That's fine. The 18 key, he stacks attack. So he gets 50% attack permanently. And then he also gets 30% defense for 4 turns. Now, the attack stacking, of course, is going to lead towards him just generally doing more damage. It doesn't have the biggest purpose ever. I mean, it can work very well for, say, Goku and Frieza, who have the damage check threshold, right? Like, it could work there. Typically, stacking attack works much better, though, if it's, building towards, like, a powerful active skill or something like that. Beast, of course, does have a powerful active skill, but it's not an attack. It's just, him doing his thing. You have the unit super here with a Piccolo, where, he still greatly stacks attack. He still gets the defense for 4 turns. But the addition is that he gives allies 20% chance to crit for that turn, and he gets an attack break. Now, in certain situations, this could potentially be a bit of a disadvantage, because Beast does actually want to get hit. The unit super for Beast doesn't really do very much outside of the Red Zone Kid Buu fight. In Red Zone Kid Buu, Beast's 18 key is a melee. Kid Buu blocks it. If you've got Beast next to Orange Piccolo, who also dominates that Red Zone Kid Buu fight, by the way, especially next to Beast, it turns Beast's 18 key into a unit super, which is other. So now all of a sudden, Beast Gohan, all of his attacks are damaging Red Zone Kid Buu. So remember that's I do think Dokkan is better with these nullifications. I think they should be very sparing in how they hand out this. I think that the game does function. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but I feel like it's a little bit more fun when, like, some of our characters, okay, you guys have heard me talk a lot. I've praised this repeatedly on him. I've found this to be very helpful. Physical Rose, his 70% chance to nullify Ki Blast Supers. I've found this to be very convenient in certain big fights. Red Zone movie boss rush, the Blue Kaioken Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta fight, big 3 million super bosses that Rose has essentially just a 70% chance to dodge against. So I do like this. I actually don't mind bosses who have these types of nullifications as well. I would hope that they would do less of the others, and then, just so that way you could actually kind of like, pick and choose certain characters for certain events and stuff like that. I think it's good. So the unit super isn't the craziest, but I mean, it certainly does look very good. And then, I mean, why is this guy the best unit in Dokkan history? I mean, it's just very simple. He can do very competitive damage because his crit chance is out of this world, right? And I mean, he has this right here. So he gets, okay, so there's 2 things here. He gets permanent 1 key per attack received up to a max of 5. That's a permanent thing. And then he also gets this right here. He gets attack and then crit chance per attack received during the turn, right? So he as he takes more hits in the turn, he gets more crit chance and more attack. It's designed to synergize with his active skill, where he draws all attacks towards himself, and then absolutely demolishes. Where is the active, by the way? It's down here, right here. Gohan's active, which is, it's one of the best actives in the game. I would not call it the best, but it's definitely one of them. It's, of course, really good. One reason it's so good, by the way, is all Gohan has to do is get hit 1 time, and then you have it up. This is what makes him the best character in the game, by the way, is the fact that it's not, all right, in 5 turns, we have his active. It's a lot of times the fight starts, he goes in slot 1 because he's the best defensive character in the game, pretty much. I mean, in most situations he is. He eats 1 hit, and then the rest of the fight, Gohan has full control of the fight. Like, the reason Beast Gohan is the best unit in the game, and Cell Max is right there, and, I think, like, Gogeta is a much weaker character, but he's kind of in the discussion as well. They are controlling the fight. Like, the boss can seal, they could lock, they could do all this shit, but when Gohan is there, that shit doesn't fly on his watch. You can bring your shitty Vegito Blue character, your terrible LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Kale, Turles, Super Trunks, like, what other, like, bad 2023 characters? 17 and 18, right? Like, you bring all these weak characters around, and as long as Beast is around, he could just raise his hand out and keep them from getting hit. It just makes him ridiculous. And then you combine all of his crit, damage reduction, guard abilities in here. He has this as well, which is just utterly broken. Where is this? So I'm looking for... Yep, there's that. There's his extra crit when ki is 24. Extra damage reduction and defense when ki is 24. Yeah, right here. This shit, man. So he gets a guaranteed additional super if he gets hit in the turn. So, he does typically want to be slot 1 to maximize his damage. But then he gives all allies 3 ki when he gets hit. That shit is too good. And then down here, this ability, so he gets another 20% crit and 20% damage reduction, and then gives all allies 2 ki after he's either done his 5th attack or been hit 8 times. He's just busted because he's untouchable. He does very competitive damage. I mean, he's not doing damage like Transform Broly or something like that, but Gohan is doing very competitive damage. Because almost every attack he does is a crit. That's why. It's good characters just do crits by themselves without needing hidden potential system, right? So he's just firing off crits. He's untouchable. You can protect your allies at any time. It's just insane. He's insane. And of course, again, he's got the target mechanic, draws all attacks to him. 24 ki, 58% defense. I mean, now is a perfect time. I did kind of want to get this video a little bit closer to when he came out, but I found that Gohan's performance in this was so crazy, I just put it up right away. So what we've got right here, so Goku and Frieza, when they're under 50% HP, what they have is a 5.7 million damage super attack. Yes, that is correct. When Goku and Frieza, when they are below 50% HP, they do a 5.7 million super attack. Let's see how Beast tanks. This is Beast without his intro, by the way, where he has his intro right here, and then he gets 8 ki, 40% crit, 40% damage reduction for 5 turns. This is turn 8, so this is without his intro. And then here's the damage he takes from Goku and Frieza. This is what makes him the best unit in Dokkan history, is shit like this. Beasts can get caught. It's not impossible for him to die. But it's he has that available to him. It's craziness. It's actually insane how powerful Beast is. And then, again, I mean, while we're here, let's look at that was the friend Beast Gohan who had defensive equips. My Beast Gohan, funnily enough, you guys probably wouldn't guess this if I didn't say, my Beast Gohan is built all offense. I have raw attack and additional, and then there's my Beast doing a 30 million crit right there. And then, oh, by the way, the point is you kind of pop his active skill, you can put him in slot 3, he draws all those attacks, builds up that damage during the turn, gets a guaranteed additional super, and you're seeing what this guy is capable of doing. Again, just an utterly ridiculous character. I do think if we got the hidden potential system additional super right there, again, mine is built full additional, we would have killed. We wouldn't have even gotten to seen him tank the super like that. That's crazy. But yeah, best unit, I do believe in Dokkan history. What I've kind of gotten away with saying is that I wasn't there for Gogeta, so I would say that this is the best character I've ever used, which is true. I do believe he's definitely better than Gogeta, right, in terms of Dokkan history, but I wasn't there using Gogeta day 1, so I don't really want to just push that hard, because it's not something I did back then, right? Alright, then the Gammas. Gammas are really good. I mean, I don't think the Gammas are quite on Beast level. They have a lot of special stuff, though. Number 1, we need to talk about this right here. This is very good, obviously. If you can bring support characters that don't die, it's gonna be huge, right? Like support characters who are capable of going into red zone type fights, Supreme Magnificent Battle type fights, and not dragging you down are, damn near must runs. I mean, so you do want to really understand that. That's very, very, very good for them to be able to have that right there. Now, turn 1, they get cooked by the actual fights. Cell Max, which is coming in, I think it comes right around when UI Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta drop, which I think that they will drop a week from Beast. So if Beast and the Gammas are dropping on the 26th, 27th, I think UI and Vegeta will probably be like the second. If Beast and Gammas drop on the 29th, then I think UI and Vegeta will drop on the 5th. But I do think Beast and Gammas are the 26th, 27th, right? So that Cell Max fight can smoke them right away. Now, their standby condition is quite good. They do a lot of attacks, and you need to get them AGL, STR, or int orbs. They're obviously much better with int orbs, but for the purposes of at the start of the fight, I mean, if they're going to get hit by one of these big supers, they're dead regardless of if you get int orbs or AGL. The difference is that they do guaranteed additional supers, whereas it's 70%, right? Yeah, 70% right there. So you need to just get 3 hits their first turn, and you get this. This is kind of their defensive ability. Unfortunately, though, 30% damage reduction isn't enough for like a 2.5 million super, which there are several bosses that do that turn 1. There are also several bosses that are weak turn 1. Again, there's a balance. But their standby condition is really solid because you could do it right away. So let's say they're on turn 2 and you take, 30% damage. You're at like, 69% HP. You could immediately just go right into their standby. So you could, theoretically, you could be transformed into Solo Gamma 1 on turn 3. If there was like damage nodes on the map, you could be in Gamma 1 on turn 3. But realistically, in a real fight, you could have this guy out easily on turn 4, which is good. So there's 2 different conditions here. Either if HP 70% or less, or if they've done 3 attacks. Really not bad. Doing 3 attacks is way better. Oh my god, if they had to get like hit or something. If they had to get hit, they would almost suck. Having to get hit is just so terrible. Because this character will be at their best. Before they reach this point, they're at their best as like a floater. Like this is a floating support character, right? Now once you swap over to this right here, Gamma 2 is going to be building up his charges. Every attack, it's just like Sword of Hope Trunks. Every attack that the team does is going to be building up damage for Gamma 2 and his actual standby right there. At this point, they do get stronger. They now jump up to 50% damage reduction. That's still enough to get smoked, I've found, with the level that this character's at. I think if you have them next to like STR Gamma 1, so they have all their Gamma links up and like Gamma 1 support and stuff like that, like yeah, they'll probably be good against most attacks at that point. But against the biggest bosses, which again, this is a Anniversary Carnival LR, like I'm thinking about them against, Red Zone Kid Buu, Goku and Frieza, these types of fights. Although, could they live Goku and Frieza? Under 50% HP? Maybe. Like Gamma 1, not this phase, but Gamma 1 can get up to 80% damage reduction. If he also has STR Gamma 1 next to him, he probably would still die, but I'd be very curious to see how much damage he'd take. But you get here, right? If you run this character in slot 1, you'll be able to take full advantage of this right here. This 50% defense to superclass allies. I've found this to be a ludicrously powerful ability. They're still very similar to the base Gammas at this point, right? A lot of the same stuff is exactly the same. And you're doing attacks to build up the damage for Gamma 2. Then you can drop Gamma 2. In terms of the build, you can go crits. I actually don't have the video uploaded. I'm going to upload it today. You can go crits for the Gammas here to try and crit on the standby. My Gammas have 10 crit, and I do get the crit on the standby with regularity. By the way, giving them crit, it's essentially only giving you value for the standby because they have so much built-in crit anyway. So if you give them crit, it's for the standby. But the thing is, maybe you're someone who doesn't like to reset the app, I guess, but you can reset the app, and have the opening rotation differently for different crit RNG. So in the video I did against Goku and Frieza with the Gammas, you guys will see, I did Gamma 2 standby 3 or 4 times, then finally I crit and we won with the Gamma 2 standby, right? Just by, how the turn is before you actually drop the standby, right? Like putting a different character in slot 1, giving them orbs before doing it, right? Like every action changes the RNG. So with something like that, like I think like giving them like again like something like 10 crit or something like that's a good idea. My gammas are built full additional because I just wanted to make sure no matter what I was always getting easily into their standby. That was the main focus. I think full dodge is incredibly smart on them as well. Because that would, just help them take some of these hits. Now, Gamma 1 by himself is mega elite because you have this for 2 turns. Uber busted. In that Beast Gohan clip we had right there, this helped. Beast still would have lived, but it looked, him taking 150k or whatever compared to 350k was far more impressive. So, like, this ability right here is really good for a lot of your weaker characters. And then depending upon your orbs right here, int or STR orbs and your HP, there's 2 things. You need to get orbs and you need your HP 30% or higher, which isn't really too bad. You are able to get Gamma 1 up to 80% damage reduction. Now, people will see 80% damage reduction and instantly just think, oh, we're good. But, I mean, remember, bosses do super for 3 million plus now. So, it's like 80% damage reduction. He can get smoked through that, I think, by certain bosses. It depends on how many of your links you have up. Gamma 2, unfortunately, is not relevant. AGL Gamma 2. Gamma 1 gets cooked badly as well, but, like, you can use him here, and you could use him smartly, and Gamma 1 can work well for you. Gamma 1 is exceptional in the Supreme Magnificent Battle Beast Gohan mission, for example, or Beast Gohan fight. So you could use Gamma 1 for, like, those missions. He's very effective in there, because Gamma 1 has his melee super counter, which works against Beast, right? So there's that. I think the Gammas are very, very good, but just, to me, kind of like judging by some certain things, I did not have the Gammas on here. The Gammas for me are like, they're like 11 or 12 or something. Like, they're like right there, the Gammas. I think Broly is better defensively than the Gammas at the start. I mean, once the Gammas at least go into their second phase, they're better defensively. But the Gammas literally get outright one-shot by the big bosses. Broly and Gogeta are at least capable of living. And I value heavily, you guys hear me say all the time, how good you are right away is very important, I think, right now. And, like these guys, Beast, UI, Vegeta, are literal untouchable turn 1. So that's big right there. So yeah, there we go. Global has, in my opinion, the best unit in Dokkan history coming, and the LR Gammas, who are a very good character, and who do support a lot of categories. I mean, dude, this Jiren is on here, Tech Ultimate Gohan, so many Joint Forces characters, superheroes, obviously the best category in the game. So it's like their support covers so much of the game. So let me know what you guys think. LR Beast Gohan and the Gammas are coming now.